This is called the art of making fresh mozzarella. So all I'm doing is pushing this curd cheese through this cheese slicer. And this cheese slicer has a name, we call it la guitarra.
The strings.
Or a guitar. And as you can see, it does a nice job cutting this curd cheese into uniform pieces. So we have water that's about 165 degrees, and all I'm going to do at this point here is simply add this water into the bowl. And all I'm going to do is add this water in a little bit at a time, allowing the cheese to warm up a little bit at a time. And I'll continue to add this water in this manner until the curd cheese is completely submerged. Then I'm going to take my paddle out and give this a gentle stir. And all this is doing is further ensuring an even distribution of water temperature throughout the bowl. And then we're going to allow this curd cheese to sit for a couple of minutes. And what you just seen is what we call the first cook. And as I explained to you before, it's more of a tempering of the cheese, a warming of the cheese, getting it ready for the second cook. I'm going to get to the second cook. Before I do, I just want to explain to you what these other two bowls are utilized for. The bowl to my left has cold tap water. That's going to be utilized to stop the cooking process of the mozzarella and help it retain its shape. The bowl to my right has a salt brine solution, and that's going to be utilized to further enhance the flavor of the mozzarella. So I discarded about 2/3 of this water, and all I'm going to do is reintroduce some of that water that was heated to
165.
okay, approximately. And all I'm going to do is submerge this cheese under the hot water. I'm going to take this paddle and I'm going to insert this paddle underneath this curd cheese, and all I'm going to do is stretch a little bit of cheese at a time over this paddle. Now, as you can see, the texture of the cheese, to your point, is starting to change right in front of your eyes, right? And it started knitting together as well, right? So all I'm doing is stretching a small amount of cheese at a time over this paddle. In doing so, as you can see here, I'm actually increasing the surface area of this cheese. Everybody see that? So what that's doing is actually exposing this cheese to warmer temperatures and allowing this cheese to cook even further. Once I've developed the texture of the cheese, all that's left for me to do is take this cheese out of the water, and here's your taffy-like consistency that you were talking about. Okay? Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Yeah, it is.
So you had that piece of cheese that was kind of brittle, right? Look what I just did. I transformed it into something special. I'm going to place it back in the water, and now I begin shaping. So the first shape I'm going to make here is an egg-shaped mozzarella called an ovalini. So working from one end of this cheese, I'm actually going to fold this cheese inside of itself. We'll develop a nice smooth surface to this cheese. Then once I have a desired amount of cheese, I simply fold this cheese together, apply a little bit of a tourniquet to it, a little pinch, and we have our first mozzarella. You see the cutting action I'm about to place on this cheese here? Italian people call this mozzata, and it means to cut or detach. And that's exactly what I did. I'm actually going to elongate this piece of cheese.
Braid.
Yeah, twist it into a braid.
It's like doing the bread.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, right now I'm going to make a scamozza.
Used to play for the Yankees.
So I'm going to shape up this mozzarella, make a nice smooth surface to this cheese. Once I've done that, I'm going to take this cheese, turn them upside down, and all I'm going to do here is create a little bit of a neck. And as a result of me creating a little bit of a neck, a little mushroom-shaped head is developing, right? What I'm actually doing here is closing the this piece of cheese in this fashion. So if you notice, I put a little bit of a notch on top of it and submerge it right in that water. Okay, so we're going to elongate this piece of cheese. To a rope. Place the rope back in the water. I'm going to take this rope. Watch what I do with this rope. I'll tie it into a knot. Pull the knot through. Cut it at its base. We have a little bite-sized piece of mozzarella or a bocconcini ball. So I'm going to roll this up nice and tightly. And always leave a little outer edge here so we have something to adhere to. So I'm going to leave the outer edge, okay, against this pan here. So we have a little compression going on here. Granted, right?
Yep.
I'm going to add some additional hot water. And this is going to give me a nice tight seal. I'm going to take this cheese, drill a little hole in it. So we have a little bagel going on here, right? Everybody see that? And now we have this ring developing. And the ring is getting larger, right?
Yep.
See, growing. Now take it out of the water and just stretch it. Well, what you're actually seeing here is cheese that has been elongated, but these are protein fibers, so you understand, that have been stretched. And what's going to happen to this cheese? It's going to become very right. But before we do that, let me just get to this. I'm going to twist this into a braid. So here you have your string cheese mozzarella braid.